Hello everyone and welcome back to the second. Before anything else, please like and subscribe now.
Why some people are mean, rude, and disrespectful. Have you ever met a rude person and simply wondered why? Why are they so unpleasant? It's normal to feel attacked when someone acts with inappropriate or unjustified furious behavior. It can be hurtful. After all, you're just trying your best. It turns out you're not alone in feeling offended by the offensive manners of others. Many people believe that disrespect wins out over courtesy and that rude behavior is worsening. This begs the question, what makes some people so mean, and what's causing the popularity of a mean mentality? Well, there are a variety of causes that make people mean, disrespectful, and inconsiderate. So, let's examine some sources of rudeness. They may surprise you. Insecurity. Have you ever had a bad day? If you've ever felt negative or especially critical of yourself, you know it can be difficult to see others in a good light. Excessively rude people have those bad days all the time. When people feel down about themselves, they're less likely to treat others with care. That's because if they feel they don't have value, they can't see the value in others. Low self-esteem can create barriers between a person and their understanding of others, and even their own behavior. Often, deeply insecure people overcompensate by masking their low self-image with cockiness, appearing boorish and rude in an attempt to look or feel strong. Personal problems. You may have never had a bad self-image day, but surely you've had your fair share of struggles. Our behavior is a reflection of our mindset, and no one can be peachy keen all the time. Life presents seemingly endless frustrations, like problems at work, relationship drama, financial burdens, challenges, and failures. When stress levels rise, it's easy to lash out at others, act curt or impolite, and possess an air of rudeness. Stress does this to everyone, including kind and polite people. Can you remember a time you were on the wrong end of a rude encounter because of the strain in your life? When we feel frustrated, it's easy to act impulsively and say the wrong things. So, you might want to cut that rude person some slack, especially if you've been in their shoes. Learned behavior. Parenting styles aren't the same from family to family or even child to child. Just think about it for a second. Think about the environment you were raised in. If vulgar words were seen as normal, or you had a role model who experienced fits of rage with violent behavior, you likely grew up believing these actions were acceptable. Some people grow up without ever learning how to maintain a healthy relationship, or how to interact with others nicely for that matter. Sometimes, rude people carry the behavior they learned early on into their adult lives. Instead of learning how to cope with stress in a healthy way, they have enraged outbursts at others. They just don't know any better. Personality and mood disorders. Having an unhealthy or unstable home life can result in a bad attitude, as we discussed, but it can also lead to serious psychological trauma. Emotional turmoil caused by negativity or violence in childhood can cause personality or mood disorders which permanently affect the brain and ultimately the victim or witness. Symptoms of a larger and often deprecating issue appear as behavioral patterns that make a person seem mean, disrespectful, or rude. Personality disorders such as narcissism or borderline personality disorder can cause the person with the condition to come off as inconsiderate. They struggle with a lack of empathy and a tendency to disregard the feelings of others, often because they were never taught socially acceptable behavior as a child, like how to respect boundaries. Cultural differences. While the last few reasons aren't directly connected to our modern world, this one is. With the booming popularity and accessibility of global travel, in combination with an ever-increasing population, our communities are becoming denser and more culturally diverse. This means that normal and acceptable behavior in one culture can be perceived as rude or inappropriate in another. For example, Germans prefer those who are blunt. British people tend to beat around the bush about delicate matters. To the German, the Brit's politeness is rude. To the Brit, the German's frankness is abrasive. This happens from country to country and even community to community. Some people think being quiet is respectful. In other families, loudness is cherished, and being quiet could come off as rude. Miscommunication or misunderstanding. Whenever we engage with another person, we take part in the collaborative process of communication. And sometimes, it doesn't run as smoothly as we'd like it to. Miscommunication happens when the speaker says something wrong, and misunderstanding happens when someone interprets that information wrong. Whether there are cultural differences or misperceptions, something gets lost in translation from one mind to another. One person might misunderstand the other based on word choice, body language, missing information, or assumptions. When you think about it, it's pretty easy to get it wrong when you could mean so many different things. When we're trying to get our point across, we usually don't mean to confuse the other person, but misunderstandings can result in arguments where both parties find the other one to be in the wrong. Too much tech. Our emerging modern world comes with great technological advances, but sometimes the benefits have dark shadows too. A fast-paced digital world has made connecting easier than ever, for better and worse. With phones that never leave our sides, the constant pinging of notifications, and the draw of social media beg for our attention 24/7. Brightly lit screens that demand immediate responses are creating a new mental strain that society didn't experience even 15 years ago. This urgency and oppressiveness of always being connected is a modern condition that causes anxiety and stress, two feelings that easily lead to frustration and aggression. And while technology has thrust us into the future, it may also be contributing to the rise of rudeness. Underdeveloped emotional intelligence. While there are many complex reasons someone might come off as rude or inconsiderate, this one is pretty simple. Some people just haven't matured yet. They lack awareness. They don't understand how their actions impact others. Like children who struggle to share their toys, these individuals struggle to grasp the idea of others' emotions. You can also say they have low emotional intelligence. The sad truth is that these people may never learn. With no understanding of how their behavior might hurt other people, they are entirely unable to consider others before acting or speaking. Good intentions with poor results. Thinking back to communication, sometimes we misunderstand someone's actions or words as hurtful when that was not their intention. Examples of this include overprotective parents or micromanaging supervisors. Attempts to control or alter aspects of your life or your work can be insulting, but it's not always intentional. Your parents probably just want to ensure that you have a good life. Your boss simply wants you to do good work, even though they may come off as rude. Most of the time, you can resolve issues like this by bringing up your feelings to the perpetrator. If they care about your well-being, they will want to know if they hurt you by accident. Other times, a person might justify their aggression or disrespect as a means to toughen someone up and get them ready for the real world. While their actions are harmful, the person believes they are doing good. This rudeness is a monster of their own making. Trying to talk to them may help, but they might just have low emotional intelligence. People are born, for the most part, as blank slates. We learn and adapt to the world around us, which isn't always the best world to grow up in. When feeling frustrated, even those with the purest intentions can become overwhelmed by their circumstances and appear rude, inconsiderate, or straight up mean. Most people aren't rude for the sake of meanness. Their behavior usually stems from past trauma or current suffering that puts too much emotional strain on them to even consider being polite. If you find yourself as the innocent victim of another person's meanness, the only way through it is with immense patience and empathy, as meeting rudeness with rudeness only adds fuel to the fire. There will always be negativity and meanness out there in the world, but if you can maintain your morality, you might be able to break the cycle, adding positivity to their life and yours in the process. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.